Hi everyone, welcome back to Lawless Unleashed. I'm Lawless17 and these are my impressions so far on Ghost of Tsushima. Okay, so I'll say these are my impressions. I'd like to say early impressions, but I have been sinking hour after hour into this game. I have just got past the end of Act 1, so I've just made my way onto the next part of the world map. I've seen a decent proportion of the story, at least I think I have. And I've experienced, I think, a lot of what the game has got to offer. So I thought now would be a good time to give you my impressions and let you know what I think about the game. So first of all, I want to talk about graphics, the world, and what I think gets overlooked is the audio. But first we'll speak about the graphics, and as you can see on here, I have the lovely Jin, who is our main protagonist, and the one who you share the story and the experiences with. Graphically, I think this game is outstanding. It is right up there with in my opinion, the very best. It reminds me of God of War, obviously on the PlayStation 4, Horizon Zero Dawn, but it seems to take them to a new level with these. With the atmospherics that it adds, so the fog system, the weather effects, the wind, all of that sort of stuff. And I will touch on exploration, I think, a little bit later. But yeah, graphically, it is absolutely outstanding. Hopefully, whilst we go along this video, you will see what I mean. Yeah, you'll get to see the world, and you'll get to see how it looks in lots of different situations. So I think that naturally leads on to the world itself. Like I said, I've just finished Act 1 and I'm on to the next portion of the world map. So this here is the first area of the world map. I am this little dot up here, and it is a sizable chunk of a map. I say I've sunk a lot of hours in. I'm only just off of Act 1. I believe there's 3 acts in total. And if it was just this part of the map, and that was the game, I would still be very impressed with what I have seen and experienced. I think obviously they would have to cram the story into a much smaller area, which would make it more condensed and a lot shorter. But this part of the map alone has impressed me so much. They filled it with so much stuff, yet it's not overwhelming. Again, I'll speak about exploration and how you come upon quests and everything a little bit later, but yeah, this is the starting area. It's got a fog of war on the map. As you explore, you lift the fog of war. So you can see here, this patch here is fog of war. So as I run into that, it will uncover it. So you can see, even though I've done this island, I think serves as the starter of the game and for whole Act 1, and I'm still exploring it. But if we slowly zoom out, you can see there is a whole another portion of this map to experience, and I have literally seen up to there. So this game is a lot bigger than I thought, and I am looking very much forward. I think on some games, especially open world games, I think excluding The Witcher, I would have seen the amount that I've already done and thought, oh, I've got to replicate all of that up here to 100% this game. But seeing a part of this world that I have not explored yet, I'm very excited because of what I have done here. And that's how much I'm loving this game, that I haven't finished this island. I want 100% this island before I move on to that one, and I want to 100% that. I don't want to miss a single bit. And I think that in itself speaks volumes. I do want to pick up on the audio of the game. The audio is absolutely stunning. I've seen people gushing over this game. I've seen people criticising this game. But the one thing I don't hear them criticising is the audio. But I don't hear a lot of people gushing over the audio as well. I mean, just the noise from the swords clashing, your footsteps on the mud, on the water, in the grass, listening to the wind, to the flags, to the embers of the fire, the crackling. It is phenomenal. The voice acting is brilliant. The only thing I have with the acting, and it's not so much acting, but it's just expressions on Jin's face, he is quite emotionless. And for a man they try to convey that cares, I think they missed that point, only through the expressions on his face. But it is sensational. So you can hear the crackle of the fire, the rustling, the bows, arrows that whiz past your head during combat. It is just glorious, and it's one of these games you really have to play and experience for yourself to understand the full depth of this game. Even that collecting some bamboo, it has a satisfying crunch as if you snap the wood yourself and collect it up. So graphics, world, and audio are, in my opinion, some of the best of this generation, and possibly some of the best I've ever played. And I don't say that lightly, and I find it weird that I am saying it, but it is just that good. Exploration I will go into later, but those yellow birds do play a part in it, or golden birds. I now want to talk on combat. Let me see if I can. I will make my way on foot down to this camp and carry on talking. Combat, I think, was a big concern going into this game. Lots of people saw it and thought it was just going to be a generic run-of-the-mill hack and slash. And then I think people saw a bit of it and thought it might be a bit Dark Soulsy. But I'd like to say it takes a bit of a combination between hack and slash and Dark Souls. Let me just follow this fox. This is part of the exploration in the world. So you'll come across a fox den, and it will lead you to these shrines. These shrines, once you do a certain amount, they unlock certain bits and pieces, as you will see here. So there you go. Once you do a certain number of shrines, you get certain bits and pieces. I will show you what all this is in a minute when I finish talking about the combat. But yeah, the square is light attack. Triangle is more your heavy attacks. You can do combos. You can do charged attacks. Obviously you've got your blocking. But the main thing is you've got stances. And they don't have what I would class a huge range of enemy types. But what they've got is actually very impressive in the way the mechanics work. You've mainly got your Mongols and your bandits and a few other bits and pieces which might tie or might not tie into the story, so I don't want to go into that. But each one, you have swordsman, where you hold a certain stance to fight swordsman, which is the X button. You hold R2, select X, and you go into stone stance, which is to fight swordman. You have ones to fight shieldmen, or any enemies with shields. You have the same with pikemen or spearmen, and you have the same with brutes, who wield absolutely ungodly weapons. They send you flying every time. So you can see the difference in the stances. Each one of these makes each enemy much easier to fight. They make it easier to break their defenses. But if you are not using the right stance for the right person, it's not that you can't kill them, but you will have a tougher job. And that is where it's brilliant, because in a single fight you will have multiple people, all of various types of enemy, where you have to constantly switch stance and be on your guard as to who you're actually fighting. And it's just, actually, when you look at it, it's very, very simple. But they've implemented it in such a way that it's, look at this, it's just beautiful. that it's just brilliant. The combat feels satisfying, to the clashing of the swords, to when you actually slice and dice somebody. Even the ghost gameplay is satisfying in combat. The samurai way is the way forward, and it is the most entertaining, but being a ghost is excellent. And that leads on to your ability. So we've talked about the stances, and you'll notice on the right is your stances. On the left are your ghost abilities, or at least some of them. So you've got sticky bombs, throwing knives, and smoke bombs. All do as they say on the tin. The smoke bomb, if you get into a bit of a heated combat situation, it don't look good, drop one of those down and you've got a bit of a chance to retreat or collect your thoughts or start assassinating people as they get lost in the smoke. Throwing knives are great if you're approaching a few people, or if you're up on a rooftop. You can upgrade these to do more damage and throw more at the same time, which allow you to do more damage. And the sticky bombs are brilliant because I've seen I haven't done it myself, but I've seen lots of people comboing sword fighting, melee moves, and a sticky bomb to great effect, and it does look absolutely fantastic. Again, I will show you combat, but again, it's like the world and trying to experience the world. You need to do it for yourself to fully appreciate it, to fully understand it, because it is just so good. It all combines to just create this magnificent package of a game that I am thoroughly enjoying. So let's just speak with this person and see what they've got to say.
I was trying to fix my wagon with pieces from a bamboo stand when I was told
So,
a samurai had built it.
We've talked graphics, we've talked the world, we've talked the audio, we've touched on combat and some of the abilities. There are more abilities, such as your bow, your short bow or your long bow. The long bow does more damage but takes longer, so it's more of a sniper rifle if you want to equivalent to a sort of gun game. And your short bow is more of your sort of doesn't do as much damage but allows you to fire off a lot quicker. You have modes where you can slow down time briefly with your bow. So you see here, bow, long bow, which has got explosive arrow or just heavy arrows. Short ones, you've got your normal arrows or your fire arrows. And then this one here on the left is your thrown, where you can throw a wind chime to distract a single enemy. And that enemy is highlighted so you know exactly which one you're targeting. You have firecrackers, which will distract a huge group of people. And you also have black powder bombs, which, as you can see on screen, they deal explosive damage over a wide area and stagger enemies. So they are your abilities. You can upgrade those abilities through technique points, which you get when you basically, it's their equivalent to leveling up. So you can see you can work on deflection and evasion. You have mythic, where you follow certain quest lines to unlock them. You don't, you spend your technique points on these, but you unlock these. You have exploration stuff. So no microtransactions in this game. They're not going to charge you to help you find certain bits and pieces. You can do it all through your technique points that you earn in the game, just through fighting, side quests, main quests, freeing hostages you find at the side of the road. You've got technique points for stances, so you can see here stone stance effective against swordsmen, water stance effective against shieldmen, effective against spearmen with the wind stance, and the moon stance effective against brutes. Each one of these you can then upgrade to make your life easier. Then you've got the ghost abilities, which you can upgrade. So you've got your Kanai, you've got your black powder bombs, smoke bombs, sticky bombs, wind chimes, and each one of those you can upgrade to hold more of each type, upgrade them to make them better. And then you've got recover health, standoff challenge, where you can string together better streaks of standoff kills. You can make archery better, assassinations better. Your focused hearing, which if I come out of here, you go into this state and it starts to highlight people. Enemies will be in pure red. And yeah, it's just fantastic. I can't get enough of this game. That leads me on to the story, where they all combine to create what, so far from what I've experienced, I absolutely love the story. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but basically it starts with the Mongol invasion. I don't think I'm going to say any spoilers because it is a natural progression of the story at the very start of the game. The Mongols are invaded. You are trying to repel the attack on the beach. it doesn't go well. You end up wounded. Your uncle is taken prisoner by the head of the Mongol army, and it is your duty in early part of the game to forge alliances and rescue him. I won't go into anything about that, but obviously after that I don't know what the story is because I haven't done it. I will give full impressions on the story and the game after I've done, but I wanted to get this out because so far so good. It's the simplest terms I can put it is because I'm absolutely loving it. And yeah, the story I have found to be really, really interesting. I have, and you're not pushed into just doing the story. You can pick up where and when you want, where you've left off. It doesn't push you into anything. It is fantastic. I don't want to say more on it because I don't want to spoil it. Again, I want you to experience it yourselves if you get the opportunity to do so. So that leaves us onto the world and the map. I've already shown you, obviously, the map. The world is so varied. Even in this first starting area, you go from the beaches on the outsides to heavily populated forests. It's come straight for me. Heavily populated forests, bright blue, high saturated colours, to your greens, to your whites, to what you see here, which are the reds, and it is just glorious. I want to talk photo mode, but I have this habit of when I go into photo mode, it turns off the recording. Well, not when I go into photo mode, but also when I try and take a picture. So I will do it without taking a picture. So to enter photo mode, I would say you have to go to a spot that you find fantastic to look at and set it up for a photo. In this game, you do not have to go very fast. You just press, when you've got that photo you want to take, you just press right on the D-pad and here you are set up. Now instantly, to me, that's a lovely picture, better than what you find in most games, and that's just straight off the box. Photo mode, bush, take it. But you can set up camera positions so you can do a short video clip. So if I just put off a couple of points here, move it around, and then come back to here, play the animation, and you can create these videos. Focal lengths, which allow you obviously to zoom in and out. You roll on the camera, which I very rarely use. Depth of field, which allows you to blur out the background or the foreground. Auto focuses, and then this is a good one. This is one of the main ones I think people use in your color grading, which I think in most games is pretty standard. But you've got your black and whites to suit your Kurosawa mode. All the different types when used in conjunction with exposure, particles. So as we're in a red field, you could turn on red particles and you get this lovely flow. You've got all these different types of leaf. Ash and ambers if you're in a fire or a high intensity situation. Fireflies, dragonflies, butterflies, crows. You can even turn down the intensity, so you don't expect to see thousands of birds just flying across an open path. But there you go, you can change the wind speed, the wind direction, the clouds, time of day, clear, stormy, animated, so you can turn the environment on or off. You can change June's emotions, but like I said earlier, his emotion palette is pretty dim. So even if you were to try and make him angry, confused, happy, he doesn't change his face greatly. Mask on and off, cinema bars, stamps, all just add to the effect, and the music, so you can record short videos with all this stuff. And the other thing I will say is, I know I touched on audio, but I didn't say anything about the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this is so good. Please go and get a copy of the soundtrack for whatever means, if it's Spotify or whatever it is, or if you can buy it. Please support the composers, the devs, and go and buy it. We have the digital soundtrack up on our channel. If you want to listen to it, it is absolutely phenomenal, and I highly recommend it. So, photo mode done, dusted. I have to say, say I've played this game for 10 hours. I think it's probably more than that. I have spent 5 hours at that time in photo mode. That's how beautiful this game is. And that's how addictive photo mode is. It is ludicrous. You can spend so much time because there's always something to look at. Always. Even in a plain field, sometimes just the way the light catches or the fog, it is glorious. So exploring. You've got your world map. Now obviously bits and pieces that you can hit X and the guiding wind will tell you. So those white wisps, you strike up on the touchpad and the wind will blow in the direction you need to run. There's no intrusive green or whatever highlighted waypoint. It is purely just follow the wind and get there. All the little parkour, see, and it is just beautiful. So that takes you where you want to go. These are camps where you can get upgrades to gear, all these gold places, towns and smaller camps that you unlock or you help people create. You'd have fox dens, you have strategic locations that you need to take back, or towns or little villages that you need to take back from the Mongols. Is what this red stuff is. How you do it is entirely up to you. You can just go in through the front door, be a samurai, and do a standoff, or you can sneak in as a ghost and try and wipe the camp out nice and quiet. I will go down here because I believe there's some Mongols down here. So standoff option. So let's do a standoff. So you give a call out. They normally send their best warrior. And then it's to see who can go first. So as he lunges, we strike. He has an eagle on his head, which is interesting. See, missed that one. So now we're fighting a swordsman. We make sure we switch to the sword. You can get things called perfect parries. As you see, I'm not very good at this game. But it just feels so satisfying. Each hit is a lovely vibration on the controller, which just helps connect with the character. One thing I did mention is your health in that is in the bottom left of the corner. Those circles are called resolve, and you get those for blocking, dodging, and striking. You press down on the D-pad and use up some resolve to heal yourself. But like I was saying, you can... Oh look, here we go. So this exploration also ties in with side quests. Obviously the main quests you come about, you're told where they are, you go there. But your side quests can come about just through finding hostages or random people in the world. They give you a story.
Where did it happen?
The crossroads. They stop everyone. If you're too weak to be their slave, they kill you.
Go and mourn your family. Leave the Mongols to me.
And because we've helped him, we get a little bit of upgrade to our status, our legend. And then look, map is updated. So he's told us about a path somewhere. And at some point, we will come across that on the map. Not this one, that doesn't relate to it, but that's from another one where somebody has told us about this. And so we will go there and sort it out. And that is a very organic way to have the map uncovered to you at a rate that you want yourself. You can obviously explore and uncover the map yourself. You can help these civilians, and they will slowly tell you bits and pieces and slowly help you to go to points of interest and uncover it. Or you can carry on with just the main story and skip all of this. But I would think that would be a huge waste. One thing I do want to show, again, look how glorious, even when you're in this hidden state, it's just so nice. The one thing I do want to state quickly is how fast this flipping game loads. Even from boot time of the console to getting in and actually playing, it loads so quick. So quick. Considering how large this game is, considering how beautiful this game is, it is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. And I find that amazing because we're talking about PS5 and all the things that are coming with PS5. So you can see here the enemies are highlighted in red. Okay. And PS5 SSD, Xbox Series X SSD, going to allow us to instantly boot, no load times. But I have to say, if Sucker Punch are able to deliver this on a typical mechanical hard drive, and I will show you in a minute with fast travel, the thing with the SSD is going to be outstanding. Because if they can do this with a mechanical hard drive, what they can do with an SSD, it scares me to think. Let's just quickly take out this count. What I will do is I will quickly show you other ways that you can fight. So you don't even necessarily have to fight them. You can interact with the environment around them and shoot out these fires above their head to kill them. And people don't bat an eyelid about you because they think it... Oh, apart from that one. Is that... The one thing I will say is the AI can suck at times. Right. Now these are like shieldy type people. Ah, so archers there. So I don't know who's going to attack me first, but there's actually quite a lot of people. Ow! So you got two archers here. So after you can upgrade your abilities to deflect the arrows. And then what we'll do is we'll try and hit with one of the mythic that you can do, which is the Heavenly Strike, which boom, and you just go flying through them. This is the concentration. And like that. So you can tackle camps as a ghost, you can tackle them as a samurai. Obviously the samurai might be slightly harder, but ultimately it's more rewarding in the feel of combat. Now I took some damage, so what I'm going to do is use focus to heal, and then I'm going to end his suffering, which also helps to replenish your focus. So it's a good way of dealing with combat and preparing yourself for the next bit. Right, so let me, I'm pretty sure whatever this is, I've cleared it out, but let me pick somewhere I haven't been, just to, I'll tell you what, we'll go to the Golden Temple, because that is a really busy area. If I can find the Golden Temple, is that it? There you go, Golden Temple. Okay, so let's do this for fast travel. So I'm going to hit triangle to fast travel, there we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 seconds. Okay, and that has taken me from where we were around here, I think, down to here, and this is a heavily populated area, lots of NPCs, lots of stuff, look at it, it's glorious to look at again. There's no pop-in, nothing, and it is loaded in 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And that is on the PS. That is the bog standard PS4 with the original hard drive, which is completely cram-packed with games and apps and it took 8 seconds to load this game. That is how quick it is. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to leave it there for my impressions. Again, I was going to say early impressions, but impressions. All I am going to say is, so far, this is one of my games of the generation. God of War is up there. And it's also one of my greatest games I've ever played of all time. And I truly believe that. And again, I find it really weird to say it because I've played some fantastic games, whole host of different types of games, but I am enjoying this game so much. And I can't stress how much full price, which was what, $59.99 British pounds, was worth it. Would I like to see Sony offer something like the Game Pass? Yes, of course I would. That Game Pass on the Xbox is absolutely outstanding value. First party titles straight on there, £10-15 a month, boom, and you've got access to it. You only have to play a few of the brand new titles a year to make the money worth. But if this is the quality of game Sony are going to put out and they don't offer a Game Pass, do you know what? I am happy paying 60 quid. As long as they don't try and rip you off with DLC or microtransactions. If they can just do games like this, which they have done with Horizon, with God of War, I am absolutely happy to pay full price for these types of experiences because they are brilliant. I will leave it there on that. I can't speak highly enough of this game so far. I will, once I've finished it, give you my review and impression of what the whole package looks like and the time I've spent in it. In the video for this, I will incorporate photos I've taken in photo mode. I will incorporate videos I've taken in photo mode. But yeah, please come and check this out on the channel. Please support the devs Sucker Punch by buying this game and showing your appreciation, because they have created something truly magnificent. And that's all I'm going to say about it for now. Check back in probably a couple of weeks when hopefully I've had a chance to finish it. But thank you for coming back to the channel. Please leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe button, and the normal gump for you, ring the notification bell to see when we update you with new stuff if you like what we're doing. But more importantly, thank you very much for just taking the time to watch this. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
我が身